Hi, Billy Dillard from BillyDillardArt. Today we're going to be working on this door jamb, and I've taken some weather stripping. I got it nailed up here, and all that's for is just to get me a shape that I'm after. Just start creating a rough shape. And I've got a two-part epoxy gel coat here made by Polygem, and I added some thickener with it due to the fact I'm doing this vertical, and I don't know until I start applying it if I got it thick enough. So I'll start applying it, and we'll see what happens. So there again, I just want to create a hard shell, and then I'll come back over that once it hardens up, and I can always start using my sculpting epoxy then. So you don't have to worry about on this as far as it being really pretty. Matter of fact, you kind of want to leave some rough texture for your next coat to adhere to. Oh, and I just love working overhead. No, and that was a joke. But so far, so good. Whoop, yep. And that's why you want to make sure you don't have on your best shoes or clothes, and you got your floor covered up, because this could be messy. So it's just a matter of trying to get it out of the bucket as quick as you can, because you really don't want it to start setting up in the bucket, because then you're going to lose your product. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're working with it. Just kind of slop it on there, and then you can, once you get it on there, you can kind of move it around where you want it. With it inside the bucket like this, it's going to generate heat, and it'll start accelerating the chemical process, which will make it want to kick faster. So that's why I want to get it out of this bucket. I can come back after it starts to set and move it around. That's the great thing about this product. It'll start to set, but it won't cure out for at least an hour and a half, I would say. So you can kind of move it around and work it as it's curing. It'll get to a stage where you can actually, it'll get kind of firm but not hard, and you can take water on your gloves and squish it and smooth it out if that's what you want to do. So I got this. This is the first coat on here. Now, once this starts to set up, I can come back and put another coat if I don't feel like it's thick enough. And there again, if you think you're going to do that, leave it textured. Don't really try to get it really smooth. I mean, you want these things that are hanging down to lay down. But like I say, as it starts to set, you can come back with your little water on your finger and just knock those right down. But leave it a little rough for your next coat if you need to do a next coat. And I like to get at least 1/8 of an inch millage on there, if not a little bit more. That way it's got some strength to it. If you get it too thin, it's just it won't have any integrity, so it would break pretty easy. So there again, for the first coat, this is great. And I'll come back I would say in about an hour, and move things around a little bit. But you can see it's starting to set up. And I'll just pre-warn you, if you don't put any thickener in there, the way it comes, and you just mix the A and the B and you don't put the thickener, it's really going to be running like crazy on you. So, and the thickener, I just add enough where it's got some, well, you can see it doesn't want to sag, but you can still brush it on. But when I first mixed it, it would actually run off the brush. that's another note. When you first mix it, if you mix it exactly the consistency you want, within a few minutes, the integrity of the mix is going to change on you, and it's going to be thicker. So don't mix it as thick as you want right off the bat. Get it kind of close, and then wait a few minutes and see what you got. This is one of those things, it's kind of like reminds me of my mom when she was cooking, and I'd ask her, well, how much of this or that? And she was, well, I said, well, I grab a little bit of this and I grab a little bit of that, and I just mix it till I get what I want. I'm going, wow, Mom, great instructions, thanks a lot. So anyway, I wish I could give you an exact amount of thickener to put in there, but it's one of those things, you just got to play around with it a little bit, and you'll get it figured out. There again, mix little batches at first. Don't mix a big batch. Mix little ones. And mix your A and your B together first, thoroughly, and then start adding your thickener to it. Because if you don't do that, it may not cure out right. If you put the thickener in your A or your thickener in your B before you mix A and B together, you could mess up the possibilities of it wanting to cure. So don't do that. Mix A and B together first, and then put your thickener and add it gradually until you get what you want. And there again, could you imagine if this stuff was real runny trying to do it overhead? Oh my gosh, what a mess that would be. So, all right, so hope you learned something from this, and we'll be doing the other side here pretty soon. As soon as this cures, I'll go ahead and nail up the foam strip in here, do the same thing here that I got on this side, and then I'll start doing some sculpting epoxy, and I'll share that with you as the process continues. So hope you learned something from it. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to check out my website where you can see more of this fairy house I'm building, and that's www.enchantedfairyhouse.com. If you find me on Facebook, it's BillyDillardArt. So all right, we'll catch you later. Bye.